Konko Talk. Konko Talk. Aloha, everyone. Thank you very much for listening to this program. Konko Talk is a program where people in Konko Faith talk about various topics. The thoughts and opinions we share on this program may differ from yours, but we hope that you will enjoy and learn something new. Perhaps you will learn something new that may affect our thoughts, behaviors, and actions for the better. Our different backgrounds, religions, thoughts, and culture provide the diversity that strengthens our community, just like biodiversity is essential for a healthy planet Earth. I'm Koichi Konko from the Konko Missions Honolulu. Joining me are Aimee and Edna. How are you doing today?
Hello.
Hello. Thank you very much. So today's topic, we'd like to talk about Konko Missions in Hawaii centennial anniversary. We will hold the 100th anniversary service this coming August. And the Edna Sensei is chair. So
I thought it was co-chair.
co-chair. Yeah, co-chair. And actually, Aimee was a co-chair 10 years ago when we celebrated 90 years anniversary. You may forgot it, but
Long time.
yeah, 10 years already passed. Our theme is 100 years of faith. Continue to serve to Kami and the people of Hawaii, I think.
Yep, sounds about right.
So we're exciting to welcome because Konko-sama Konko-sama and his family will join us. So that's very one of a kind opportunity for us because Konko-sama usually stay at the headquarters, Konko Town, and worship hall at Okekai every day, 365 days, 7 days a week, morning to evening, morning to 4 in the morning to 3:30. So that means he doesn't have opportunity to go outside of Japan. But this time, since Konko Church in North America also celebrate their 100th anniversary, so Konko-sama will travel to San Francisco, and after he joined the anniversary in San Francisco, after the Konko Church of San Francisco, fly to Hawaii.
Mhm.
So I think it's a great opportunity for us to appreciate our pioneer ministers. Once I read after World War II, it's really a hard time for pioneer ministers. They are interned several places, and some people repatriated to Japan. Most of the sensei, I think all of the sensei were arrested for nothing. They did nothing wrong. They're not criminal, but they're arrested on the day Pearl Harbor was attacked.
Mhm.
Actually, Waihewa Church founding minister, Reverend Haruko Takahashi, she was American citizen, but she was arrested. Maybe Edna Sensei knows about her. Could you tell about her?
She was arrested the 14th, I heard. December 7th is when the war broke out, and a week later I heard she was arrested and taken to, I believe, the Sand Island internment campsite first, and then she stayed there. I don't remember how long she stayed there. I don't have my notes in front of me. And then the next she went to Honouliuli internment campsite.
It's called Jigokudani.
Danny, it was really hot and like there was no wind and lots of mosquitoes, I heard. How long was she there? And I wish I had my notes. If I knew you were going to ask me these questions, I would have like had my notes in front of me. I don't remember from the top of my head. I'm sorry.
But not like 1 or 2 years, more than that.
I believe she got out in 1943, on Tanabata Day, which is July 7th. I'm not wrong. I don't want to get busted.
According to the Hombu report, the Kodama sensei was repatriated to Japan after arrested and sent to Sun Island and mainland. He eventually returned to Japan by himself because in Hawaii, only the leaders of the Japanese community are arrested. Family members stay as they were. So his wife, Reverend Kikue, were able to stay at the church, but they're not allowed to welcome any ministers, anybody to attend. But Hilo Church was able to open. The U.S. government didn't order Hilo Church to close, but the sensei was arrested. So Hono Church was closed, but as a friend, they're able to visit it Reverend Kikue, founding minister's wife, but they cannot talk at the church. So they talk at the kitchen that I was told. The kitchen was like a worship hall for them. And the Kodama sensei reported, so it was very hard to continue uh, missionary work in the U.S. Once the Pearl Harbor was attacked, then the ministers arrested. But in Hono Church case, Kikue Sensei continued to stay in the U.S. instead of going back to Japan. I was told that Kikue Sensei refused to go back to Japan, even though even Kodama Sensei recommended, why don't you come back? And so many ministers wanted to return to the U.S. to their dignity church to continue the missionary work. And some people stay in the U.S. Some senses stay in the U.S. That's why each churches were able to continue to exist, and we can celebrate the 100th anniversary.
So at the time of the war, how many years were we already? Well, Konkokyo was established 1920.
Konkokyo was established in Hawaii. 26 Mamichikai was established. There's a members gathering. It's an official organization, but only members there. There's no sensei, the ministers. So they requested headquarters, please send someone sensei to Hawaii. So that I guess responded, and the Kodama sensei was sent to Hawaii, and also Reverend Nishida, founding minister of Hilo Church, was sent to Hilo.
Okay.
That's the beginning. The Hono Church was established in 1929, and Hilo Church also established in 1929. Missionary work started in 1929, and they established in 1930s.
So from 1926 to 1929, who were these people that were gathering and talking about Konkokyo?
Yeah, we should talk about that, yeah? Edna Sensei, did you know about how Mamichika was established?
Not really. But I want to rewind and I want to get my facts straight because I went back to my notes and Reverend Haruko Takahashi, she was detained again on December 14th, 1941, right? And she was released on parole on July 7th, 1944. Sorry, it's not 1943. Apologies. So roughly 18 months of confinement before she was released. Yeah. Can you imagine that happening? Not even like suddenly people come to your door and take you away from your house. Just could imagine the fear she felt, uncertainties, and especially her parents and her family and also her church members were probably like freaking out and worried.
Like Reverend Kodama, Reverend Nishida, founding minister of Hono Church, Hilo Church, came from Japan, so they're Japanese. Haruko Sensei was born in the U.S., Hawaii, and she was American, and she was not criminal. For all of a sudden, she was arrested.
She was put on the list. She was put on the list when she went to Gakuin. Yeah, pretty crazy, right? Her decision to become a minister put her on the suspicious list because she went to Japan. And really, she established this church in January 1940. And like the very next year, she's detained. Can you imagine? I wonder if she was like regretting her choice, to become a minister. Like, wow, just became a minister and then getting detained for it. But she held fast to her faith, really requested for parole 3 times, and twice she got denied by the government, saying that if she stopped believing in Konkokyo, then she will be released. But she said she's not going to give up her faith, so she's kept her faith. And on the 3rd attempt, she was released without having to give up her faith. So it was really a test of her faith, and I really appreciate Haruko Sensei for being so determined. Otherwise, none of this would be here today.
So I just wanted to clarify that no one that was detained was actually a criminal. They were simply detained for their race because they were Japanese or Japanese Americans. Simply for that reason, it was a time of fear, and that's what motivated the American government to detain these people because they were thought, they were seen as leaders in the Japanese American community and were deemed a threat to American government, quite frankly, because of ignorance. So yeah, just to clarify, we keep saying they weren't criminals and they were detained and they were arrested, but that it was that time of war. And in that time period that these, this terrible decision was made amongst the higher ups in the government. And yeah, so clearly no one was a criminal and no one deserved to be arrested. That's just what it was at that time.
Yeah. It was a fear, yeah. Fear took over people's mind and freaking out, and it's very difficult to make a right decision sometimes because of fear. So later on, even the president apologized for what happened to Japanese and Japanese American at the time.
And I believe they got compensation from the government. I'm not sure if like the family members of the people who were sent got compensation. Because Haruko says she passed away before she could even receive compensation. So I'm not sure if her family received it.
The Mamichikai
Yeah.
was established because of Rabbi Katashima, Koichi Katashima from Japan, visited North America, including Canada and Hawaii. And he came for research, how many members or people interested in Konko Kyo.
Oh,
And he had a couple lectures or gathering in each places. And
so he was sent by Gohonbu. Was he sent by the headquarters?
Actually, not. Gohonbu want to send
Oh.
someone to research. However, Gohonbu didn't have money budget for that. So the Katashima sensei was Young Ministers Association kanji. What is a kanji? Like a
Director.
treasure.
Oh, treasure.
The Young Ministers Association treasurer, and one of the member donated a big amount of money to the association and used this for special. And he or she didn't say that want to reveal his or her name at all, so we don't have. But because the person was saved by Konko Kyo when he was young, so the person wanted to do something for the Konko Kyo.
Okay.
So the person was business person and earned money, enough money, so donated a big amount. And then the Konkokyo Young Ministers Association used that donation mainly to send Reverend Katashima to the U.S., including Hawaii and Canada.
New information. I did not know that. And he rode of course, the boat.
Yes. So of course the headquarters and maybe other churches donated help, but that's the big reason why they are able to send Reverend Katashima to the US for research purpose.
Do we have any information about why he chose to come to those specific places versus like?
I think they have some information already. They're the members in Seattle area officially, and they have a gathering, Konkoku gathering in Seattle area. So there's some communication between Gohonbu and those areas.
So they already knew. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So they knew.
When Reverend Katashima came to Hawaii, there were members already here.
Many immigrants came to the U.S. and Hawaii, and some people practice Konko Faith, but there's no churches. So they know that, some churches send information to Gohonbu, I guess, the members to visit out. So they chose intentionally, I believe, Seattle, Vancouver, Tacoma, Portland, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Hawaii, even Maui, the Big Island, and Oahu. The trip, Reverend Katashima traveled to the North America, the Seattle first, Seattle, from May 16, and went back to Japan early September 5 or 6.
How old was he? Just curious.
I'm not sure. I can research
Yeah, where'd you get that information from? That's really interesting.
this. It's called Moto Wasure no Yorokobi no wa. Hawaii published this for Hawaii 50th anniversary, and he used the Reverend Katashima's diary in a report to go home. So there's a very precise information, accurate in the detail.
Wow.
Does it have numbers, like figures, how many members there were that he found?
So in Honolulu, he had the lecture, the Kokai Koen lecture at Taishakyo branch, Mr. Inoue's house, Oyama's house, Sunday gathering, Yamamoto's house gathering, Mr. Mada's house gathering, Hiro YMBA open lecture, and Mr. Yasuhara's house gathering, and Honomu Shingon Mission, Hensho Temple, open lecture, Puna Young Seinen Kaikan open lecture, and also Maui Wailuku Jodoshu Kyokai Temple, Kafurui Japanese School, Nichiren Kyo Risshokai, and William Camp.
William Camp.
So
So
he
there's
just basically went where Japanese, it's sounding like where Japanese people were.
yes, Japanese immigrant.
Interesting.
And I have information from him, and there are 5 members in Vancouver, Seattle 10 people, Tacoma 6, Portland 2, Los Angeles 15, Oahu around Honolulu area 15, Kilo 2, Maui 1, Melbourne 1, San Francisco 4, Fresno 3, and other places 5 or 6 people. Yeah, there's a 2 gathering in Seattle, so there are actually more people who relate to Konko Kyo. Yeah, I should read this thoroughly and I should give you information, but I didn't have a time today. Yeah, that's how Konko Kyo started. I mean, Seattle, Tacoma, Los Angeles, and Honolulu. At Honolulu, the Mamichikai were established, so they call Hawaii Mamichikai, Los Angeles Mamichikai, Tacoma Mamichikai, Seattle Mamichikai were established after Katashima Sensei's visiting.
Yeah, they have some history on actually KCNA's website. Looks like a little bit of history on Katashima Sensei. His first name was Koichi, by the way.
Koichi.
They wrote Koichi.
Katashima Koichi, right? You talk about Reverend Katashima?
Katashima.
Yeah, it's wrong. Katashima Koichi.
KCNA, it's wrong. Everybody's listening.
So actually, KCNA, the Seattle gathering was established before Katashima Sensei. But since it's kind of complicated, KCNA and KMH Konko Church in North America and Konko Missions in Hawaii officially decided, Konko officially decided 1926 is the establishment year for both Konko Church in North America and Konko Missions in Hawaii. Wailuku Church was established after World War II in Maui. Do you know any history about my Wailuku Church?
Very embarrassed to say no, I do not. All I know is our founding minister was Nakai Sensei. She was from Honolulu. I think she had a family and everything in Honolulu. We have some of her family members, her descendants, that attend Honolulu Church. Yeah, Nakai Sensei. She's also laid to rest at Diamond Head Mortuary. Diamond Head.
Yeah, Diamond Head
Mortuary. She has a plot near a tree it's kind of toward the corner. Nice view of the backside of Diamond Head. Yeah, all I know is in her later years, she developed diabetes, I think it was, lost her eyesight, but still continued to serve as minister. And then my father took over, came from Japan and took over, I think when she was sick. After she was sick, I'm not sure the timeline on that.
We have to acknowledge the people who found the church, but also someone who took over the church so that the church continued to exist, continue to serve to people in the community, and also members who attended the service and supported the church. That's why we're able to continue churches, functions, and we can celebrate the centennial anniversary. Each church has history, and the members and ministers. It's a good opportunity for us to remind that our blessings and the people's hard work so that we can enjoy practicing faith now, a generation. So we have a responsibility to pass down to future generations about faith so they can, unknown next generation people can practice faith. If we don't have faith, the church or Konko community in Hawaii, you're not, the future generation lose the opportunity to practice faith.
My camera died.
Your camera died.
And it just suddenly turned black. It's okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
While recording, but you can't switch. I wonder if my computer's camera is working for roll call.
Came back.
I'm using my computer screen's camera now.
See. Yeah, the quality was a little bit different.
Lower quality, but
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Hello, yeah, you're back. Okay, sorry. Where were we again?
Yeah, but when think about the history of Konko Mission Hawaii, we have a big responsibility to pass on to future generation because if we don't, and if there is no Konko Faith community, they cannot practice Konko Faith. They cannot encounter Konko Faith, the founder.
Yeah, like I heard there are so many church members back in the old days that people had to come early to save spots in the pews and kind of like fight for our seats actually
Mm,
because they'll get so full. Yeah, they couldn't fit everybody. Is that right, Koichi Sensei? I remember Yamanaka-san told me that long time ago.
yeah.
Right. So it was like a community space for Japanese or Japanese American, the church, the temples, place together and share the culture. But now it's a little bit different. We get scolded. The English teacher for the Konkokyo Hawaii Center staff members, they came from Japan and they need to study English and they have like a tutor. He wasn't Konkokyo, but he is just Hakujin. But because they asked to revise their sermon in English and they talking about the faith sometimes. So he learned Konkokyo and he liked it. But the 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 English teacher told the Konkokyo Hawaii Center staff member that Konkokyo is a good religion, but it's in it's in the cup and the cup say Japanese only. So why don't you have a responsibility to share to the world? You have to take out the the note like Japanese only for Konkokyo. You have to share to people, not only Japanese or Japanese American, but to the world.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, Konkokyo originally came to Hawaii in the mainland United States to cater for the Japanese population,
Mhm.
right? The plantation workers, mainly the immigrants. But it's not only, well, it's from Japan. It's a made in Japan religion, but it's so universal and I think you can apply to any culture really. Now in this age where a century has passed, it's our responsibility to spread the word in this native language, English. And so everybody can learn of Konkokyo, the wondrous, the amazing nature of Konkokyo, I think.
So those who can speak English, especially born in the US, have a big responsibility as being like a bridge to cultures from Japanese culture to the world, Konkokyo culture to the world. So now the difference is the language. Past when I moved to Hawaii, 2003, everything done in Japanese at Hono Church, but gradually changed. So now pretty much everything done English, and we some Japanese. We have used some Japanese. So I think that's a big difference. Before the church member have to learn Japanese to communicate. Since Amy,
Yeah, there was I think it's always been kind of like a kadai, like a not issue. What is it? A point of contention when we're talking about Konkokyo and spreading the faith. Yes, that's important. I am part of the school of thought of it is important and translating everything into English is a great way to spread it to more people, but we can never forget where we come from. So while I respect the efforts to translate everything into English, there's some things that just don't translate. You have to have an understanding of the Japanese culture that Konkokyo comes from in order to fully understand the teachings. I feel like everyone can take away something from it. It's a fine line that we teeter on. You can't just Konkokyo is inherently Japanese. Like Edna Sensei says, there's a lot of universal teachings in it, and so everyone can take away something from Konkokyo. I still think it's really important to respect the fact that it is Japanese, paying special attention to where it's from, the ideologies and things that are very Japanese that you don't see in Western religions and things like that. So I don't know. It's a fine line. So it's kind of Coach Sensei is very, very right when he says that we have a great responsibilities. People like senseis like Edna Sensei or Todd Sensei or your brothers, Rodney and David and my brother Roy, the people who are basically half American, half English, where we have to be that bridge to connect where Konkokyo can go from now. Yeah, it's very. I think it was. I've had this discussion. I think it was with Oya Sensei. Reverend Yomisuya. He was our former KNH
Sacramento.
center director. He is the head minister of Sacramento Church now. We've had this discussion where, he agreed with the, I don't know, I know he liked the way Hawaii kind of approached their view of Konkokyo and how to spread it to the local people. We very much, in Hawaii, I feel like we very much pay close attention and we pay a lot of respect to the Japanese part of the religion. A lot of places will make it a point to, a lot of the churches in Hawaii will make it a point to do the prayers not only in English, but also in Japanese. And I love that. Personally, I love that about the churches in Hawaii. Nothing against KCNA. Love you guys. But it's just something that's part of Hawaii. I think that, and it's kind of like a special thing in Hawaii. And I think we should really pay attention to that and keep that going too.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't want to get rid of like the Japanese prayers. I actually like reciting the Japanese prayers over the English prayers. It's kind of the melody. It's just a sound that I like. You know how Buddhist sutras are chanted too, and you don't understand a word of what they're saying, but it's just so the sound is so relaxing to me. It feels so healing, and just like the Konkokyo Japanese prayers, it's like they're using old style Japanese wording, and like a lot of these wordings I don't understand, yet just hearing it feels healing for me. So I don't necessarily think it's necessary to translate into English prayers, but again, for English readers, I think they appreciate that.
I think sometimes I thought why Konko Daijin was born in Japan at that time, 1914. Is it like coincidence or necessity? Because the Konko Daijin have to carry and share the idea the Japanese culture have and need to share to the world, or just coincidence. It could be he could be born in the US or Europe or Africa, or gotta be in Japan at the time.
You know, there's that teaching, right, where Konko Daijin says, Kami will have ikigamis be born throughout the country, like the world, I think, in every country without exception. So ikigami basically is Konkokyo's translation of a prophet, I think. So, you know, there could be like the Buddha, Jesus, Muhammad, or Moses, or Krishna. In each country, in each region, there's going to be an ikigami or like a prophet. I think Kami-sama, this great energy, this great life force is sending these people to help humanity. Because I saw this one, I guess it's like a banner in the chapel of our hospital recently, and it just recently popped up, but I really like what it said. And it had like these symbols of different religions on this big poster. And it said, one light, many lamps. So there's one, like basically one God, yet all these different prophets are connected to that one source of energy. So the essence of all the prophets of God is one and the same, it said. So I really like that. And it's just like food, where, you know, Konkokyo may be ramen, and Buddhism could be like udon, and another religion could be like spaghetti, but they're all noodles. And noodles is like religion, where people like their noodles in all different kind of flavors or textures. And it's like you choose your noodle, you know, and to tell people that, hey, your noodle, the way you eat your noodles, your type of noodle is wrong, I think that's kind of wrong. But because for them, that's their way of salvation, and that makes them happy. And we cannot be forcing people that ramen is the only way to salvation. So I really like that poster I saw in the chapel.
Yeah, there's a teaching, founder teaching. Everybody has a preferable food. Some likes soba, some likes udon, noodle. So just like that, everybody have a different prefer religion. So some people like Christianity, some people likes different religions. So sound like we so serious about faith, the belief this is so right, and sometimes you think your faith is right. That means somebody else's faith is wrong. But founder said some people like udon, some feel like soba, just like that. You just like the faith. It's so interesting to me.
Yeah, so I believe that there's no need to fight. There's no need to compare. If that's your way of salvation, then that's totally fine. As long as you're not hurting other people, that's totally fine.
You know that Konko is from Japan, and you need to experience to understand the true faith. You can understand by knowledge or reading books, but you need to experience. Sometimes you think about like tempura or sushi, and we can try to explain what is sushi, what is tempura, and if you taste it, you can understand the flavor, what kind of food it is, you like it or not. Recently, I heard an interesting story about sushi. When you heard sushi in the US, you can imagine about makizushi. It's just like a California roll, something like that. But in Japan, sushi means nigiri-zushi is the first pop up in Japanese mind. So in the same word, sushi, kind of know each other. But when you heard the word sushi, the image pop up in your mind is so different between people in the US and the Japanese. What's the authentic and how we can? So I will go back to the discussion that we should have some kind of Japanese. We cannot forget Japanese culture in our faith because the origin in Japanese. So when you talk about sushi, and I know sushi, and we have to curious, really know real sushi? So again, that's our generation's big responsibility, like you Japanese American who can speak English, Japanese fluently, can explain what it is precisely, and you can take people around you to the restaurant to introduce sushi, real sushi. What is sushi? And likewise, you can introduce Konko Kyo. You can take the church, and this is Konko Faith. And we have like a middle age, 30, 40, 50s. I think we have also big responsibility to become a bridge between younger generation, older generation. There's a generation gaps, and we experience the era. There's no internet, no smartphone, and we experience the beginning of the internet world. And now we're here in AI, and the younger generation can use when they are born, they have internet already, have AI already. So I think we have a unique position. It can be the bridge between even the generation gaps for different generations. So the KMA Centennial is so important for us to remind ourselves our responsibility. Yes, Aimee?
Ditto. I don't know what to say to that. Yeah, the 100th anniversary coming up is definitely a time for reflection, how we got to this point, to this 100 years. Definitely giving thanks for the people and the religion and the environment that brought us to this point, to this auspicious year. But also looking forward to the next 100 years. How will we do our part, do our kuleana to bring this religion into the next 100 years in Hawaii and beyond? That's a huge, it sounds very daunting and very, it's very heavy. I feel like it's a heavy responsibility. But with senseis like you folks who still have energy and are very much aware and are willing to take on that responsibility, I think Konko Kyo in Hawaii has potential to move forward. And as a lay member, I am counting on you folks. You must. I would hate to see, we can never let this happen. I would hate to see Konko Kyo fade. It's such a universal religion, and such an accepting religion. Yeah, we cannot let it just end with our generation. We definitely have to bring it forward. Don't ask me how, but we have to bring it forward.
Yeah. I think we should enjoy being us for a reason. We are born this year, and we are the one who can be like a bridge for many people, and we should enjoy practicing faith. One sensei, I read the article many years ago. One sensei said that Konkokyo should be disappear. I'm looking for that because
he's looking forward to disappearing?
that means because everybody has the way of life that Konko Daijin shared or encouraged to follow. So if so, Konkokyo doesn't have any responsibility or doesn't need to be exist because everybody doing Kami's way already. The Konko Daijin continue to teaching us. So if we have so many different religions, but if they have a similar teaching and practice faith and can help each other and have a peaceful world, maybe, kind of sad if we don't have the name of Konko Faith, but I think that's his intention that already you are practicing Konko Faith, even though you are not Konkokyo believer, you are not belong to Konko Faith, but you are doing Konko Daijin way.
Yeah, there are some people like that, right? They're not even Konko, and then they're
but
like
non-Konkyo, but
doing exactly what Konko believers would do. Like even like the thinking, the thought process is so that's like, whoa, that's so Konko. I would, say aloud sometimes.
but as long as the people need Konko Faith or teaching, sometimes they need Toritsugi Mediation. They need to talk someone who have toku or virtue, have Konko Faith. People need not only just practicing faith, need to be saved, need help.
But is there any other religion that has Toritsugi Mediation, something like Toritsugi Mediation? I know Christianity, they have their, confession booth, but is it like Toritsugi though? I don't know.
It's a confession.
Konkokyo is so unique in the sense that ministers will listen to your troubles for pretty much free, although donations or offerings are accepted. We don't ask for them. That's why Konkokyo is considered one of the most poorest religions. But yeah, Konkokyo, they won't ask for compulsory donations or there's no membership fee. Come to get saved, have their frustrations be listened to by a sensei, and he or she will continue to pray for you. It's very unique, so generous, I think, in that form.
Yeah, there's a word, nido bikkuri. If you enter Konko Faith, you can do nido bikkuri.
What is nido bikkuri? Be surprised.
You're going to be surprised twice as you enter Konko Faith at the founder time. And I was so impressed. I received so much blessing to practicing faith. I'm so shocked, surprised. I got a lot of blessing. The first surprise, and you visit Konko-sama's worship hall, founder's worship hall, and so much, so simple, so not dirty, but so what you call
simple, humble.
Small. So I was surprised. So that I was shocked. So that's nido bikkuri. Bikkuri means shock or surprise in Japanese.
See, I don't know. Well, maybe if you're visiting a regular church, a smaller church, you go to Wailuku Church. Yep, we're very humble. But you go to the Hombu headquarters, and that Hiromae is, to me, it's grandiose and it's beautiful. Old Japanese, that field with the tatami.
It's built by people sincere offerings, not compulsory donations, and that's pretty incredible.
So that's the one I share was the founder's time. So founder's time, he never left the small worship hall. And the second Konko time, I think third Konko time, the Gohom built the new worship hall. So many years, there's just only small worship hall in headquarters. Some church is bigger than headquarters.
That's right. It's that small original building that they maintain on the side. You can still go inside, right?
Yes. It's a farmer's house, regular farmer's house. That was the first worship hall, founder's worship hall. So that's amazing that they started a small worship hall in local Japan, small town, and spread to internationally.
Okay.
And we can celebrate 100 years in Hawaii. Because somebody practice faith, share the faith, and people like it and share to the other people, and they connect to the Hawaii, and they continue to practice faith. And the sensei devoted their life to the church, the Goyo. So, Edna Sensei, could you make an announcement about the 100th anniversary, Konko Missions, the Hawaiian anniversary?
Yep, July 13th, everybody, is the deadline for submissions of your registration for. Please RSVP either online or via paper form if you would like to attend our Centennial, Keimei Centennial on Saturday, August 15, 2026. 16th, Sunday, we'll have a beach barbecue at Magic Island. So we hope you can sign up and we'll see you there.
Celebration on the 15th will be at Ko'olau Ballrooms. Please come.
Yeah, we need a head count, so please let us know in advance. And it's free. We accept the donations, Konko Missions in Hawaii, but it's basically free.
Yeah, Konko is still very young, so every one of us is contributing to the history of Konko. We are live historians, so let's continue to have faith and bring Konko down to the next century.
Yes. So let us know. You can contact me or Reverend Edna if you like to participate our anniversary. I think we talk a lot today. We should conclude. So it's time to end. Hope you enjoy today's Konko Talk and learn about Konko Mission Hawaii. And thank you very much for joining us. We truly appreciate your time and the support, and we hope you enjoy our conversation as much as we did. Remember to subscribe to our podcast, YouTube, so you never miss an episode. And please share it with your friends and family. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions for future episodes, feel free to reach out to us via email, konkotalk@gmail.com. Until next time, take care and stay curious. This is Koichi Konko, Konko Talk, and Aimee and Edna. Thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you.
bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.